Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ball Not Court Podcast host Cortez Paul.
Along with my co-host Paul Mack.
I want to thank you folks for tuning in today and listening to the show. Basically, we cover basketball, football, NCAA, or anything that's related to current events with a humorous twist to it, at least. You can follow the podcast at BIOC Podcast at X or Twitter. We're also on Instagram at the same name, BIOC Podcast. You go to our YouTube channel, that's also BIOC Podcast. Our Facebook page is Balls Not Court Podcast. So if you could please just give us a like, shout, comment on any of those, and definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we thank you for listening and enjoy the show. Balls Not Court Podcast. Thank you very much. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ball Not Court Podcast. Cortez Paul is here. Mr. Paul Mack, the usual. It's been a minute, sir. How's it going, Mr. Mack?
Been a few weeks, bro. We're chilling. Giants still suck. NBA's in full swing, so that's exciting. Yeah, man, we're getting through. It's today's my Friday, so I officially hit the weekend, and we're getting an extra hour of sleep tonight, so I'm looking forward to snatching that hour back like my man in the World Series did at Mookie Betts' glove.
Absolutely, man. And yeah, I've been, as you most people call it, the traveling man. Been bouncing around a little bit. Like I said, it's just been full sports mode for me, man. Miami, then back to Orlando for the season, over for the Magic, on the road and at home. Then I flew out to Denver to catch them played against the Panthers. So had a whole week off of work, came back to work, and everything was kind of smashed together and trying to figure stuff out, going through emails and all that. So it's been a time.
Live that life, brother. Live that life.
Absolutely. Paul's messed me again. I got on TV again. And as I was telling him, I was 25 rows up from the court, so I don't know how they catch me again.
They're looking for you, bro. They're looking for you. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's crazy.
It's funny, dude. I had no intention. I literally set up because going to Heat games are a little bit more expensive compared to other road games. Living that, Dade County, Miami-Dade County, taxes where you got to pay extra to go to the game. But yeah, man. So like I said, I met up with some of the Magic fans that was from this area. Pretty much all went down there. So there was about a good 20, 25 of us that was in the arena in that same general section. So, of course, we go to halftime and we start chanting, "Let's go Magic," because at the point in time, that was the whole Pat Riley getting the court name after him ceremony. And that went on for like a super long time. And it literally
that's right. You were there just before the unveiling of the Lawrence Fishburne statue, right?
Yeah. Thank God they didn't do that there. That probably would have been an hour. And the game probably wouldn't finish at like 11 o'clock at night. So
that statue is rough, bro. That statue is rough.
Dude doesn't look anything like him, but apparently I guess they're saying that the angles, so they did post better pictures. I guess that they're saying it looks better, but
his own daughter had no clue who it was when she looked at it. So I don't know.
Hey, but they posted for the what was it, Columbia during a college game? They post a picture behind the field goal post on the big screen. Face. There's just been so many running memes with that Dwayne Wade statue. So, man, been a busy sports week, man. Denver was beautiful. I caught the good weather before when I flew out there. I think it dropped down to like 45 degrees and it started snowing. So I'm glad I missed all that mess.
How many wins your Broncos got now?
They're 5-3. So,
sheesh.
But they are playing the Ravens next week, so we will see how that goes. But hey, the Ravens did lose to the Browns and everything like that. So
my man Jameis.
Well, man, talk to me about the Jets and the Texans. I know we didn't get to pick this game. We didn't get a chance to kind of dive in. I was coming back and forth from.
I mean, not a lot really happened until the fourth quarter. It was a pretty sloppy game until the fourth quarter. I mean, it was 7-0 going into the fourth quarter. Devontae Adams is doing what Devontae Adams was picked up to do, so that's good to see. I mean, I know the Texans are beat up right now on offense, so that does hurt them a little bit. But Joe Mixon's good. Joe Mixon's real good, and but they just didn't have enough, man. And then Garrett Wilson made a hell of a catch.
That was an impressive catch.
Hell of a catch in the end zone there. So I mean, it's the Jets, man. We're talking about a team that just won their third game. You know what I mean?
3-6.
3-6. We're in week 9 already. Jesus, slow down, season. But we had two teams there where the Texans are in a division that's not the strongest right now either, and then the Jets are in a position where I don't know if they could afford to lose another game the rest of the year if they want to have a shot. You know what I mean? With Buffalo and obviously Miami and New England, they stink. So that's fine. But if you want to even get a shot at a wild card, you're probably gonna have to potentially win out, especially if you already got 6 losses. So it'll be interesting for the Jets. They've lost some close ones, but we'll see. It's the Jets. Jets are going jet.
Yep, just going jet.
Just going jet.
Supposedly they have lost games they shouldn't lost, and they found a good win against a really good Texans team here. So props to them to getting that victory. But like Paul said, we'll see what the rest of the season holds for them. But I think I did see on the telecast that their schedule is pretty easy remaining away, so they can potentially make a run. So we'll have to monitor. We'll have to monitor the Jets' schedule here coming up. So, all right, guys.
I don't think it matters. I mean, if they were to even get a wild card, I don't think it makes a difference.
Hey, at one point, everybody, or not everybody, but certain members of the media was pushing the Jets to be pretty much a playoff contender or a Super Bowl contender. So, but that's people just kind of talking the whole New York bias with the Jets.
You know how it goes.
Yeah. So Aaron Rodgers come to the team, and it's more than him, but we'll see what happens.
They made the right move so far. I mean, they got better. That's for sure.
They have.
You just got to win the games you're supposed to win. Like they should have beat New England.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It is what it is, but we'll see.
1%. All right, let's get into it. We're going to go ahead and break down the rest of the games that start tomorrow. So if you're listening, tune in today for Sunday. It's going to transition, so I hope to have this uploaded here. But let's get into it, man. Sunday, November 3rd, as we have mentioned for this podcast, or during the podcast, that an hour, gain an hour. So use it wisely and get some breakfast and get your workout in, and then get on to Sunday football here. So
figures the day we get an hour. There's no early football on, so we gotta wait till 1:00.
I was going to mention that. Yeah. So no 9:00 game. So I guess they say, hey, everybody just take advantage of that extra hour. So all right, let's get into it. The Sunday, November 3rd, we have the first 1:00 game, the Dallas Cowboys at the Atlanta Falcons. Cowboys are 3-4. The Falcons are 5-3.
I just want to say thank you to the Atlanta Falcons. They must be big podcast listeners of ours, because they have learned to finally use Kyle Pitts. So yeah. Shout out Kyle Pitts for having a quarterback helps a lot. Kirk Cousins is playing great. but my man's having a couple huge weeks these past few weeks, and I think it continues against Dallas. I think Dallas is not good right now. I think they're struggling pretty hard. So I'm gonna take Atlanta.
I agree with you there. The Cowboys are just really, really struggling. Defense side of the ball, ain't really run the ball that well. They're just, you can tell that team is paid top heavy, and now it is showing.
They're just having a hard time getting the ball in the end zone, and if it's a close game, I'll take Kirk Cousins over Dak Prescott every single time.
Yeah, fair enough. Yep, and they're in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, so I'm going with the Falcons as well. So, all right, a real test, 1:00 p.m. Your Broncos, my Broncos, is playing the Baltimore Ravens, probably pedo Baltimore Ravens. So they lost to the Browns last week, but these AFC North games are always competitive. This Broncos defense is really, really good. But I wonder, and I don't wonder, we don't have the offensive firepower to keep up with the Ravens. So if it becomes a shootout and we let them run all over us and open up the field, Broncos take a step back here. They're going to lose this game. And I hate to say that.
Yeah, I think this is one of those games where, because your guys' pass defense is so good, that you guys get a lot of Derrick Henry. There's going to be a lot of Derrick Henry, a lot of RPO with Lamar Jackson. And I was reading the other day that regardless of how the first 2 weeks of the season went, that Derrick Henry is like still on pace to set like Eric Dickerson's rushing record. So the guy didn't get the ball at all the first 2 weeks, and he's on pace to have the most rushing yards in a single season. So shout out Derrick Henry. But yeah, I think this is a Baltimore game. Them at home, 1:00. They're upset. They just lost to the Browns. Yeah, I don't see this kind of. I don't see any alternate universe where Denver pulls this one off. Unless Baltimore just is looking ahead and they downplay you guys, because you guys could keep it close, but it's all a matter of which Ravens team shows up.
Yeah, they turn the ball. Broncos got a chance. They don't turn the ball and they play a clean game. The Ravens should win this easily. But we have mentioned about Ravens being in close games too, so tend to struggle with close games. So Broncos make it close and get a turnover. You never know. So
yeah,
1:00 game. 2-5 Dolphins at the 6-2 Bills. Tua is back. So, and doesn't seem to.
It don't matter.
See if they can make a run. I was trying to ramble to see if it matters, but no, it doesn't matter.
Buffalo is
rolling.
Buffalo is cooking right now, and I'll be the first to apologize. I said that their window was closing and other teams were making moves, but here we are. They're still the best team in that division. So
yep.
I think Buffalo wins it easily.
Gotcha. I agree. Buffalo wins this one fairly easily. All right. 1:00 game, your 2-6 Saints out of your 1-7 Carolina Panthers.
Saints are beat up, man. But Panthers suck.
Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it?
Nah, because the Panthers just traded like their best receiver the other day too, so they're already cashing it in. I think Deontay Johnson just got traded, so I'm gonna go Saints.
Yeah, there was time I watched the Panthers and Broncos game, and I had to catch myself and wake up a little bit. I'm glad I went to the game. I knew the Broncos were gonna win, but man, that game was pretty boring. They scored near the end to make it kind of look a little bit respectable, but it was 28-7 for a minute. So, and that's when we had put some of the reserves in. They scored again. Not unless I go on a rant saying that the Panthers lose this game. So, doesn't matter. 2-6 Raiders at your 3-5 Bengals. Man, the Bengals, man. They're in some of these ball games, man.
They always figured out late, but them at home, I'm gonna go Bengals.
Yep. It's easy. Bengals blow out the Raiders. All right. Continue on the 1 o'clock games. Your 4-3 Chargers is playing the 2-6 Browns. Browns coming off a big win. Can they go streaking? Well,
I'm riding with Jameis, baby. Let's go. I'm riding with Jameis. Something about that guy. I don't know.
Yes. I'm pulling for the Browns to go ahead and actually pull this one out here. And
for your sake. Yeah, for your sake.
Yeah, absolutely. We're watching over here for Broncos seating purposes, if that's a thing for now. So all right. The 6-2 Commanders versus the 2-6 Giants. Paul, talk about the Commanders win last week. That Hail Mary was bonkers, huh?
I feel bad for that guy on the Bears, man. That guy was getting it all week long, man. But
oh man,
I mean, Hail Marys happen. It happens. It's just one of those things. Sometimes you're having a season, and sometimes things are just happening. You know what I mean? Sometimes things are just unexplainable, and that's one of those unexplainable things. Jaden Daniels is just having a magical season. So, it is what it is. But this week, Giants take him. Giants are going to get him. Giants are going to catch him.
I love the confidence, man. Really mind the confidence. I don't agree with you. I think the Commanders go ahead and win this one. But I do admire your confidence, man. Stick with your team, man.
Always.
All right. Last 1 o'clock game. Ooh, brother. The 2-6 Titans the 2-6 Patriots. Sorry. 2-6 Patriots at the 1-6 Titans. Ooh.
I'm gonna take the Titans just because they're at home. I'll take the Titans.
The Titans up there near Carolina Panthers territory. They're pretty bad, man. And as far as I remember, Tony Pollard is questionable. So we'll see if he plays. Still don't matter. Yeah, I go with the Pats. Pats to win this game. Going to our 4 o'clock games, you got the 4-3 Bears, for losers of the Hail Mary, against the Arizona Cardinals, who are 4-4.
The new Call of Duty just came out, so I don't know how invested, Kyler Murray is currently. But Bears are one of those teams that just find ways to lose, and the Cardinals are kind of figuring it out. I mean, John Connor's playing great. Marvin Harrison Jr. is kind of figuring it out.
He's a beast.
Stud, bro. Stud. So, I mean, I'll take Arizona.
All right. I got the Bears bouncing back. Still a bitter taste in their mouth. I think they go ahead and get one on the road here. It still remain competitive.
Bear down.
All right, the 2-6 Jaguars at the 5-2 Birds Eagles.
Jaguars are not good, huh? Is ETN still out?
I believe he is.
He probably is. I don't think it matters, man. Eagles
They just traded Cam Robinson too, didn't they?
I think so. But either way, Eagles easy. Not even close. I think Saquon runs it all over him and, get a couple of big ones to Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, and this game gets pretty much out of hand early.
Jaguar fans have so much optimism, and then it just went downhill. Eagles.
I'm just a fan of the blow up. I'm waiting for the blow up. I love when teams just implode. I'm waiting for Jaguars to just start cleaning house soon because they're pretty close.
They're gonna do it, yeah. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the game. Oh, sorry, Eagles win. Yeah, Eagles win. That wasn't clear. So, game of the week, 425. Your 6-1 lines. That's your 6-2 Green Bay Packers. As far as I've seen, I believe Jordan Love is cleared to play. I think I saw something that he is cleared to play.
I'm gonna go out and say this. I think the Lions might be the best team in the NFL right now.
You're not wrong for saying that.
I don't think that's a hot take either. I think they're truly the best team in the league right now. Losing Aiden Hutchinson hurt a little bit, but their offense is just too good, man. Their offense is so good. But yeah, I'm gonna go Detroit.
Yeah, this is a good road test for them. The Packers is hot. Jordan Love came back. He's been playing pretty well. I know he was kind of injured the one game, but they did clear him to play. Lions to get this one. It'd be a tight ball game. This would be a must-watch game, so I'll definitely be tuning in for this one here when I get off work. So, all right, your 425 game, your last 425 game, the 3-4 Rams at the 4-4 Seahawks.
Seattle kind of fell apart, huh? They were what? They were like 3-1, 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
They dropped like 3 in a row.
Yeah, they're struggling right now.
Rams look good getting back Puka and Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. The division's still open though.
Yeah, I'll go Rams. I'm gonna take the Rams.
The Rams. I think the Seahawks figure it out. They'll bounce back this one at home, and I think they win there. They're
You think, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to believe they're pretty much at least the top of their division. So they're there, even though they're struggling right now. It's interesting to see how they bounce back against the Rams, but I think they get it. All right. The 4-4 Colts is playing the Vikings 5-2, and that is your 8:20 NBC primetime game.
Joe Flacco
Is starting, and they bench Anthony Richardson. Yep,
that's
right.
That's tough for Anthony Richardson.
A lot of people calling him out, talking about he quit on his team, and I don't know how to go about that.
The man was tired. He was tired. He wanted to play off. Leave him alone. He was tired. Guys running for his life back there. What do you want from him?
Well put. But that's way you put it.
Vikings lost a tough one last week, so I think they rebound. I'm gonna go Vikings.
Yep, Vikings will bounce back and make that NFC North division very interesting. Wow. 5-2 Vikings, 6-2 Packers, 6-1 Lions. Holy crap. That is a division.
Yeah.
And your Monday night game, this would have been interesting if certain pieces were healthy, but your 4-4 Buccaneers at your 7-0 Chiefs. And the Chiefs just got Pat Mahomes just got a new receiver from the Titans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. There's too many injuries in Tampa, man. Like Chris Godwin, unfortunately, that's tough. I don't know if Mike Evans is going to play. You know, they're banged up all over the place. I just think Kansas City, with their new weapons they have, and they're only getting healthier. Pacheco will be back at some point, I'm sure, but they're just doing the Chiefs, and the Chiefs take this one also.
They're navigating and winning some of these games in thrilling fashion and close fashion, and
it's just championship football, man. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, Chiefs will win this one, and then the Chiefs got my Broncos next week, so you already know who I'm picking next week. I'm just letting y'all know that. Yeah. No way in hell I'm picking the Chiefs over my Broncos. No way. Teams on the bye, Steelers and the 49ers. So that ends our pick here. Paul, talk to me about NBA season, man. What you seeing for your Knicks? I've seen the big bodega. It's kind of started to slowly fit in. Think about your Knicks so far, man.
They're figuring it out. I mean, it's early, but I think they're figuring it out. Obviously, you kind of had just an onslaught yesterday. Big dub there, but yeah, I think Karl-Anthony Towns, he fits in really well. I think it's just like going to take him a little bit, but his skill set's not much different than Julius Randle. I mean, he could score a lot of points and not a lot of shots. That's kind of the big thing. So Brunson still gets his volume. Mm-hmm. Bridges is still figuring it out. He has a new jump shot, so he's trying to figure it out. But yeah, no, they're hanging out. They're doing okay. I can't complain.
Definitely, man. Magic, for the most part, they started out well, and they went on this little tough road trip, and They lost a tough one to the Bulls in the fourth quarter. I want to say the first 18 shots taken by either team were missed, and the first basket wasn't hit until like 5 minutes to the fourth quarter. This is after Giddey got hot in the third quarter. This is when Paolo had a really good second quarter and really took off. Franz was battling some sickness. Kind of realized that Paolo got hurt, dropped to the basket and caught an elbow from our former beloved Nikola Vucevic. I'm sure it was unintentional, obviously. But yeah, it's one of those that came out to be a domino string. So Paolo, our star, is out for 4 to 6 weeks to be reevaluated. And so how ironic that we get our national televised game against a rematch that went 7 games against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are hot right now. They're 6-0. Their guards are not missing from deep. I watched that firsthand last night. And Evan Mobley is coming out on a mission. So you get this fantastic team, and this is a team that's still missing Matt Strus. So once they get them back, they're in a dogfight with the Bucks right now, who me and Paul kind of talked about the Bucks, but it seems like the Bucks selling some fight tonight. But now, man, the Magic is going to have to navigate. They're going to have to figure out. Tristan Del Silva, our rookie, had 20 points last night. So he looked pretty good shooting a long ball. Jet had a couple of good looks that he looked pretty good. So Atlanta just really couldn't buy a 3. I'm really looking at Contavious Caldwell-Pope and Gary Harris to shoot. They're our veterans. They're not really doing much. KCP is doing really well in the defense end. Let me just re-elaborate that. But as far as shooting the ball, it's been a problem. Wendell Carter Jr. is battling some injuries. So Orlando, who at the start of the season was declared healthy, now run into these injuries. But I'd rather for it to happen now than to happen in, say March, April, going into May. So they want to get this figured out. And it also helps the other pieces kind of come together and learn what their role are. I know a lot was on Paolo. He was having 29 points before he went down with injury. He played the Pacers. He dropped a 50 ball against them. So it's just going to take a lot of learning how to play without Paolo. And Franz, who is still battling an illness, just going to figure his way out. Don't know what the lineup's going to be so far. Seems like he's going to go with Anthony Black playing like a point guard at a 3. So we'll see what happens with the Magic, man. So the Cavs are 6-0, and the Thunder are 5-0. Thunder look pretty good too. Any other team that you kind of keep your eye on a little bit, Paul, that we were not talking about here in the beginning?
Golden State, especially these last few games without Steph Curry. They're up 30 on the Rockets right now. They're just clicking right now. They're figuring it out. Phoenix looks good when they're fully healthy.
Yep.
The Suns, aside from that, like the East is pretty clogged in the middle. Like you have Cleveland and Boston, and then everyone else is 3-3, 3-2. But in the West, man, Golden State, Oklahoma City, and Phoenix. What's up with the Nuggets?
That's a good question.
They're struggling pretty bad.
Jokic has really got to carry him, and you got to wonder if that's sustainable for him, which is not, because the way that this team is built, Jokic just had a lot of pressure to take off with Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. and KCP, who is now departed to another team. So now you look at the Nuggets, and you're trying to figure out, they're trying to incorporate now Christian Braun and PJ Watson, some of these pieces that was younger, now they get elevated to these roles. And Jokic has been going, there was 2 games they went to overtime back-to-back, man. You really got to think, is that really sustainable for Jokic, man? The way that his play style is and his body type is, you can't be going to overtime with this guy. like
No,
that.
no,
And
yeah.
expect him to keep logging major
The amount of
minutes.
minutes they're putting on Jokic early in the season is rough.
Not good. Minnesota is still adjusting.
I think they'll be fine.
I think they'll be fine too. Dallas is starting out slow. Pelicans. I like the Pelicans. I like Zion. I wonder if Brandon Ingram is going to be a long-term fit for them. I just try to see how that team's going to work together. It's just these little hot takes that start the season there. As Paul mentioned about the Bucks being 1-4.
On brand.
And we talked about how Dame and Giannis, do they really seem invested in one another? And now there's been a story coming out that if the Bucks don't get to a certain point in the playoffs, Giannis going to request a trade. But there was a story saying that he felt like he's going to get traded if they don't get to a certain amount of playoff success. So I don't know if he's already trying to plant the seed or he's trying to put that in there that he wants to get traded. But that whole dynamic is very weird. But they're in a dogfight right now with the best team in the East record-wise.
I'll tell you who's interesting. The Los Angeles Lakers, because they're sitting at 4-2, and they may have the worst bench I have ever seen. Like there was a game the other day. I think it was the game they lost. They lost a close game the other day, and I'm talking about their plus minus of guys coming off the bench were minus double digits. Like Max Christie was like a minus 17. Like some of the guys are minus 10, minus 12. Like there's Gabe Vincent's like a minus 13. Like there's literally no bench support. Like if they don't have a huge lead and they have to play their bench for significant minutes, they're going to have a hard time. So they're going to have to find a way probably to move around some of those pieces and whether it's have Anthony Davis on the floor, have LeBron on the floor, Austin Reeves, something, but they got to figure out that bench because that bench is going to cost them a lot of games. So they're winning right now, but that's a thing where if you don't have a bench and last year the Magic, pretty deep team, their bench can hold the floor while their starters are getting a break. But if your bench can't hold the floor down, you're gonna have a tough time in this league, and their bench is pretty bad.
Yeah, there's been and I do like what JJ Redick is doing with Anthony Davis. He's the guy. But it seems like once again we mentioned about some of these players that's being overplayed with a lot of minutes right now due to the depth. Might be the Lakers. Yeah, they're starting off pretty hot right now, and JJ has been instrumental to that start. And with the coaching staff that he assembled, there's a lot of veteran coaches on that sideline with him. But man, yeah, you're right. Their bench. It's a few teams that you mentioned. Their bench is pretty dead. Like we just mentioned the Nuggets. Their bench is kind of small and struggling. And like I'm looking at even some teams like, well, Golden State is playing well right now. But even their bench, I try to look at their bench a little bit and try to see where the production going to come down the line. It's a lot of questions about a lot of teams bench here. They're playing some of their stars a little too much.
Yeah,
and you just hope it's sustainable for long parts of the season. So,
I mean, Utah's 0-5. I mean, they've already made the move. They put Colin Sexton to the bench now. He doesn't even start anymore. So they've already kind of made some moves to try to. I don't know if that's try to invigorate the second unit or what they're trying to do, but they're sitting at 0-5. I feel like Utah's a team that, could always kind of foot around that play-in range, 8 to 10. But yeah, they're sitting at the bottom, and then obviously in the East, you got to look at obviously Philly. Philly has injuries. Bucks have Doc Rivers, and I don't know what's up with the Pacers. They don't seem like the same Pacers.
Yeah, that's a little thrown out to me too because, yeah, they got Siakam, who is a fantastic player. Halliburton seems to, I don't know if he just took a step back. There was a lot of attention towards him last year where, he became an all-star. He got this great little run starting through the NBA Cup. So now it's, I try to worry about now. And then with them, I think they just lost 2 centers to Achilles. So 2 of their centers are really down right now. So I think I read
they weren't that big. They weren't that big to begin with. I think that was a part of their problem. But did they lose Miles Turner?
That's what I'm trying to see. I know I saw something about the Pacers injury. Like they just lost. Let me look it up. Pacers injury.
Miles Turner just played yesterday. He had an ankle injury. He played yesterday. He didn't do very good. He's struggling a little bit. But
Isaiah Jackson, and he killed the Magic too. Isaiah Jackson and James Wiseman.
Yeah, James Wiseman's the other one. But aside from that, like their team, their core is the same as it was last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Continuity should have been a thing there. Rick Carlisle.
Obviously, you're gonna get more work out of Benedict Mathurin. Obviously, he's gonna play more minutes, but you still got TJ McConnell, you still got Ben Shepherd, Aaron Naismith, Pascal Siakam. So I mean, their bench is pretty light now though with those injuries. So I think it's just a thing we're gonna see now. I think just a lot of teams that don't have bench depth are gonna struggle right now because you're front loading these starters and they're playing big minutes early.
1%, man. 1%. You got any parlays going on, Paul? You got anything going on that people should know about?
No, nothing going on right now. I was too busy working. I was too busy working to really mess with some of these games. But like on the concept of like minutes, like watching the way the Boston Celtics, and I hate to give them credit, watching the way the Boston Celtics like handle their guys' minutes. Like there was a point today they were up almost 20. The game got close. Like Charlotte cut it to like 7. And there was like maybe 6 minutes left in the game, and Tatum wasn't even in the game. Like they literally ran like a 3-minute stretch without Jason Tatum. And then they brought him back in obviously to close the game out. But it's just like the fact that guy could play 32 minutes a game, 33 minutes a game, and they're not freaking out to put him out there and let him run around for 40 minutes is impressive. Now, mind you, they're a very deep team, so they don't have depth problems. But, this is going to be the part of the year where we're going to see what these benches have because it's a shame to see guys going down early in the season. And obviously you have the NBA Cups getting ready to start too, so you have that going on. But, yeah, I'm really going to be watching what some of these benches have to offer because obviously we know who the stars are in this league and we know what big minutes can do around the All-Star break and getting towards the end of the season. So it'd be interesting to see how teams can monitor usage and kind of like really rely on their benches and you'll see like teams with good benches are the ones that are winning right now. Every single one of these teams is relying heavily on their bench, except for maybe Cleveland because they just don't miss right now.
Yeah. Good call on that. So, all right. Well, Paul, I think we're good, man. Let's wrap it up. You got anything else you need to add, sir?
No, I think we're chilling. I think we're good, man. I'm just ready to get this hour back. Ready to have a Giants win tomorrow, so I have something to celebrate for. And then it's we're in November, bro. Thanksgiving's right around the corner, bro. This is prime time for us in the retail space. So we're getting ready for what's ahead. I know I'm sure your work schedule is getting pretty crazy.
Yeah, man. Yep, we're getting ready for turkey. Just start coming in the trucks now, so we get a whole bunch of turkeys coming in. So we're preparing for that. But listen, I hate when everybody try to skip over. We go to Christmas. No, for the chubby people like me, I like Thanksgiving. I like my plate of food, and I get my snacks and my pie and my stuff. And so we're not passing over things. We're not going to do that, people. We're not going to do that. That's my little rant about Thanksgiving. So
my job's already playing Christmas music, bro. I can't duck it. It's already in there.
Dang it. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to hear it on Walmart radio too, so don't.
Yeah, it's in there, bro. It's out there, but yeah, man.
All right, guys. Well, make sure y'all stay tuned with me and Paul. We'll be back at it next week for sure. I'm not traveling. I'm back in town. I'll be all right. And so we'll get something going in for sure. So make sure you follow the podcast on X. We're at BLC Podcast. You can follow me at N-CP on X. Mr. Mac.
Yeah, man. I'm on X at _Paul_Mac. On Instagram at ThePaulMac520. Holla.
Absolutely. So you can go to YouTube and type in BLC Podcast, TikTok BLC Podcast, Instagram BLC Podcast, Facebook, and just type in Ball Not Court Podcast. I did get us on underground radio station. So we are on radiate.fm. So you can also check us out at radiate.fm, where we're going to be.
We're in the underground.
We're on the underground. So
we're in the trap, baby. Let's go.
Absolutely. So more ways trying to grow the podcast, get some listeners. So anybody that's tuning on Radiate FM.
So does it just play? Is it just like randomly on? Is it just in rotation, or what is it? How does it work?
Yeah, it's just gonna be in rotation. So on a weekly basis. And so I'm pretty excited with the partnership with them. So one of my buddies that is a DJ, he's play his music on there. He's like, hey, anybody need some shows on there? Like, me? I put my podcast on there. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Listeners on there. So any way we can to try to grow the podcast, I'm all for it. So tune in to us on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor, wherever you have heard us before. You can go and get the content there as well. So we do thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for listening to the basketball podcast. That got a lot of hits. So shout out to you guys for supporting that. So we'll get back on it with the football and then get some basketball talk in there. So I'm super excited basketball back. Even
NBA Cup, man, was it next week?
Yeah, it starts next week, or at least it's in the run next week. It should be starting.
Magic's court's pretty clean.
I like it, man. I like it.
I'm not gonna lie, it was one of my favorites. It's pretty clean.
Their jerseys are nice too. They got like the whole white jersey theme now too. That's pretty nice. So I'm thinking about getting an Anthony Blackhorn in that jersey. So I'm looking at hollering at a couple of my guys to look out for me on the jersey over in the team shop. So not throwing names, not finna put them out like that. But yeah. But nonetheless, guys, thanks for listening. Paul Mac, Cortez Paul, Ball Not Court Podcast. Appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night.
Peace.